How to find all the possible rational roots. Okay, so remember, this is just trying to help you find all the possible answers, that a problem will have that are rational. And if you looked in the notes, remember we talked about rational numbers are numbers that can be written as a fraction or basically divided and will end, won't repeat, will end, just won't repeat, will keep going ever on and on. So trying to find all the rational numbers that will answer a problem. All right, so what we want to do is we use the h and the k idea. So it's always h over k. So this is my h and this is my k. All right, if there's no number where the k is, remember the invisible 1. Okay, so I'm going to take, and we're listing the factors of these two values. So my h over my k is going to look like 2 over 1. And don't worry about the negative sign in front of the 2 because you're going to call everything plus minus anyways. So what you would do is you would list all the factors of 2, which are just 1 and 2 in this case, and all the factors of 1 just are 1. And then if we're going to list all the possibles, we're going to say plus minus 1, and then we'd say plus minus 2. And that would be all my solutions. You would put, if you put 1 over 1, you get 1, you get 2 over 1, you get 2. So the denominator in this case didn't make a big difference. So there's 4 possibles, and if we remember in the beginning, our totals, we can expect 3 possible answers. So for these zeros, we have 4 possibles. Answers to this problem. All right, so let's look at the next one. The next one has a k value, and the h value is 1, which makes it kind of easier. So again, we're going to do h over k, which means we use the constant at the end is a 1, and then the leading coefficient is the k, which is 3. We're going to list out the factors for those, and there's only one factor for 1, which is 1, and the factors for 3 are 1 and 3. So this one, again, isn't going to have a ton of answers. Okay, so we're going to list out all the possibles. In this case, we're going to use the 1 as the numerator, so we're going to go plus minus, 1 over 1 is 1, and then I'd go 1 over 3 is 1/3, and it's plus minus that also. And that's it. Those would be my 2 answers. So again, that gives me 4 possibles. I'm expecting a total of 3 answers based on the leading number here. So that 3 tells me how many answers I'd expect. And that is 2 simple ones. We'll try. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. Find all the possible solutions. So again, we're thinking the h over the k. So this is my h. My constant term is my h, and my k is always my leading coefficient. All right, so it's always the last term over the first term. All right, so in this case, I'm going to have a 12 for the h, and we're going to have it over 2. Now, don't reduce that. Very tempted to take that and make that a 6. Don't do that. We want the factors of those guys, and then we simplify at the end. So the factors of 12 are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Now, I can always kind of check and make sure that I have matches. Those guys all match together, so I'm pretty sure I have all of them. And we're going to compare this to the factors of 2, which are 1 and 2. This is all going to be plus minus when we look at these. Okay, so now we're going to list all the possibles. So all the possibles, so I would take all these guys, all these, and I'm going to put them over the first term. So when I take 1 over 1, 2 over 1, 3 over 1, 4 over 1, 6 over 1, 12 over 1, that's just going to give me all those whole numbers. So I'm just going to write those out. So, and I'm going to put the plus or minus in the front and not write them all with plus minus this time. So I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12 if I put them all over 1. Now I need to take all these guys and put them over the 2. So I'm going to have 1 over 2, 2 over 2, 3 over 2, 4 over 2, 6 over 2, and 12 over 2, and then I'll reduce them. Okay, so 1 over 2. Then I would go 2 over 2. And then I would go 3 over 2. and then I go 4 over 2, and I go 6 over 2, and then I'd say 12 over 2. Okay, so those are all of them. Now I'm going to look at these and I'm going to say, okay, some of these are repeaters. So 1/2, not a repeater. 2 over 2 though. 2 over 2 is just 1. So I'm just going to cross off that for a minute. And 3 over 2, that's not here. But 4 over 2 is the same as 2. So I'm going to get rid of the 4 over 2. And let's see, 6 over 2 is 3, so I don't need that one. And then I'm going to look at 12 over 2 is 6. So I don't want to rewrite that one. So I'm going to cross that guy off. All right, so now I asked you on your assessment to write them from smallest to largest. So if I do that, I'm going to, again, just stick this plus minus in front because they all have to be plus or minus, so I don't want to write it each time. So I'm going to stick it in front. So my smallest value is the 1/2, and then my next value would be the 1, and then my next would be the 3/2, and then I'm going to list all the rest out. So then it would be 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. All right, so those would be all of my possibles. So that would be all the things, if I was trying to figure out what the solutions to that equation would be, those would be all the possible answers. Not all of them are going to be answers. We're not finding that, but we're finding out all my choices. So what this is this is giving me a bag of numbers to try. All right, and in the beginning, we know that we should be looking for a total of 5 possible roots. Okay, so 5 numbers in here should work on this equation.